Okay, started the recording. So we will see. So anyone who has worked in MySQL or the structured query language knows about stored procedure. Any idea you have? What is a stored procedure? Why do we use it in MySQL? Okay. The stored procedure is like a SQL code, which you can write two or three SQL statements into that and store it, and it can be used or called by different applications or by the users. Okay, so it is like in nowadays we are writing. I'm showing every single command in your terminal, right? Or in your MySQL workbench, you will see only single commands. So rather than writing it, it may also find it difficult, like every time you have to create a table and you have to write insert that values into the table, and you have to select star and do it. So this kind of a things you can put it into a stored procedure, and which will execute the sequence of commands if it is going to be the same set of SQL statements you are going to call. Okay, so that is what the stored procedure is. It is like a prepared SQL code, okay, that you can save so that the code can be reused over and over again. You can think of like a functions itself. Okay, so set of a code, we will put it in a function and you can use it every time. So likewise, set of statements, SQL statements, you can write it into a procedure and you can use it every time. So if you have an SQL query that you write over and over again, save it as a stored procedure and then call it to execute it. Okay, so normally we do the select star. Otherwise you find that you have a table, like a employee table, a set of 10 records you have inserted into it, and you wanted to insert or another set of 10 records, then you can have it in a stored procedure. The thing is, in a stored procedure you can pass values. Okay, same like you pass values to the functions, input parameters. Say I have a employee table. In the employee table, then you may have an id, name, same like every time, like address fields and the mobile number fields you are having it. Okay, what do? You create a table and you insert data into that. Okay, so say data is present in some CSV file or data is present somewhere else. What you can write, you are going to do this continuous statements, right? Like insert into, or in a single line you will write the values for all the insert, like id, name, address and all. Rather than doing it repeatedly, you can write them into a stored procedure. The stored procedure will start from a begin and end. Here you can have your SQL commands, like insert into, okay, and select a star, anything. Okay, then afterwards you can pass the input to the stored procedures for the IDs, for the name and address. Okay, so that just to call the stored procedure, actually you can create a stored procedure using create stored procedure likewise. Okay, some name you can give, you call that name and pass the value, then it will execute it every time. So this is like a calling of the stored procedure. You don't have to repeatedly write the same insert code. That's what it is they are saying here, like SQL query that you can write over and over again, save it in a stored procedure, and then call it to execute it. So code reusability, it is a very good for code reusability also. You can also pass the parameters to the stored procedure. That's what I told. Okay, if it is normal commands, if it is always going to view the data, or any outside user is going to view the data, then it is always going to be select. Then he can call it from his application this stored procedure name. Okay, otherwise if you are wanted to pass values, so that you will insert the data into your table, or if you're going to do repeatedly the uh, join queries and all that, you can put it in your stored procedure. You can also pass parameters to the stored procedure, so that the stored procedure can act based on the parameter values that is passed. See, you can also do manipulations on the stored inside a procedure. Okay, inside like a function, you can do calculations on all inside the procedure. You can pass input parameters to the procedure. It means you can add them, you can ask them to store the data into the database, or some execute queries. You can retrieve the output data from the stored procedure also. Okay, we also have to define a delimiter. Yes, that we will come into picture. Yes, we have to define a delimiter for the stored procedures. Okay, so delimiter, why we have to do that, I think you can answer it later on. First we will go from here. Okay. Okay, so how do we write a stored procedure? This is the syntax. The syntax is a create stored procedure. The procedure name you will give. This is a keyword, and the procedure name you will give. It some parameter type we can give it. Okay, the parameter type is like input parameter, or if it is an output parameter. Input parameter means we are passing the input to the, this is the stored procedure. Okay, this is where we write our commands. Okay, commands means SQL commands, like select star from all those stuffs we will write it. Okay, so to this if you pass an input parameters, it means you are passing the input parameter your commands, and you can retrieve the data from the stored procedure. The whatever the data the commands is giving it to you, that can be retrieved as an output. Okay, and given to the user. And uh, you can also pass input and output parameters together. Okay, so there are three parameter types, which is in, out, and input output, that we will see. So the syntax to write a stored procedure is, you will create create procedure. Procedure name anything you can give. Inside the begin and end, you will give your declaration or executable, or whatever you wanted to give. Declaration means it is also possible that you can give variables. Okay, variables are can be referred or can be viewed using at. Okay, at variable means it means if you remember in the initial classes, we used to store at, we used to write like this: select at variable, we are assigning value to the variable like 1. Okay, so that is also possible. You can declare values over here. Okay, inside the stored procedure. And one example is begin end. Just say, if you can think that you are repeatedly, some user can or repeatedly executing this query, that you can put it into the stored procedure, and you can call this procedure from outside world and run this. Okay, so when I say outside world means, it is also possible that other applications like a Java applications or anybody else can call the stored procedures in their program. When Java is connecting to an any database, it will use some drivers or a connectors. Okay, JDBC. Here we will see about the JDBC. I will show once this is done. Then they will try to call in your Java code. They will try to call the stored procedure. Okay, then it will execute whatever we have written inside that procedures. And the stored procedures, we are going to start it with a delimiter. The delimiter, we can set it anything. It need not be a dollar, it can be anything. Okay, it can be other than semicolon. You can have a delimiter, like plus plus or ampersand. Okay, or single ampersand I have not tried, maybe one. You can try hash, anything you can have a delimiter is. Okay, so later on Vikram will say that what is the delimiter. And okay, about the parameters types, as I told, there are three parameters type. Okay, one is input parameter, output parameter, and input output parameter. Input parameter is the input we pass input we pass to the procedure, which shall be used by the commands which we are giving between the begin and end. Output, the commands which we are which it is giving the output as, that we can take it, retrieve it, okay, as the output. And in out is passing the input and output together, is in out, okay, in a single procedure itself, in a single parameter list itself. In the here itself you can pass input output together. We will see examples in this. Okay, in this mode is the default. Okay, default means how you create a stored procedure is create procedure procedure, and you will give the name of the procedure like a student or get student. Okay, open and close braces. Here if you don't specify anything, then it means it is taking some input, but input we are not passing it from outside, but it is default mode is input mode, that's what they are saying. It indicates that the parameter can be passed to the stored program, but that any modifications are not returned to the calling program. See, who the person who is going to call this stored procedure, okay, it is like a function call only. So those are called the calling program and the called program. So if he is passing any input to this stored procedure, that will be executed and the results will be given to him. That's what they are saying it here. Given to him means it will be returned, that you will use it in your application. The out mode means the stored program can assign a value to a parameter, and that value will be passed back to the calling program. Calling program is outside application. Okay, whoever is calling this stored procedure, to them you will pass the output parameter. In they will send the input. Okay, they will not get the output. That's what they are saying to a caller. And out is throughout you can send the output values. Is it clear? See, through in, you will only the caller, whoever is calling the get student stored procedure, will pass the input value. Okay, throughout you can retrieve you the stored procedure can return a value to the calling program. That's what they are saying here. In out, this will we will do together, because normally what we pass an input and we need an output also, right? So yeah, if java application is a calling program, he passes an input to the stored procedure get student. Okay, and he wants an output also. In that cases you can also give two parameters together, you can use in and out. Normally this we will use it. Okay, by default if you don't give anything, it thinks that it is an input parameter by default. Till now it is clear. Okay, so this is one example about the store procedure. Here we are also passing input values, two input values. Okay, it starts with we start it with a delimiter, and we create a procedure. This is the name of the procedure. It is having two input parameters. You have to specify in that, and the input parameter one is, this is the input parameter value. Okay, that is a temp underscore isbn, and input another input parameter is a new price. Okay, so we are trying to update the book is the table. Okay, update book table in some databases. In that we are setting the price, this is the column name. Okay, column name as the new price value which we are sending it. Okay, I will show. Okay, new price value which we are sending it, and where isbn equal to temp. What does it mean is, so before that, how do we call a stored procedure? You write it. How do you start this execution of the stored procedure? You will actually call it. Okay, call update, the name of the stored procedure as call update underscore price. Okay, this is how you will once you call this procedure will get executed, and whatever the commands which we write inside it, it gets executed and gives the result. Okay, here this is normal calling because we are not passing any parameters. If you are passing parameters, say here we are passing input parameters, right? So that will be substituted, that we know, right? Function call, similar to function call. So 001 is substituted to temp ISBN, so this will become a 001, and a new price will become 600. Okay, so here the price is the column name. Say for example, you think of like a library database, and it has a book table. The table is a book, and the price of the table is given. ISBN number is given. Okay, so in for the ISBN number, 001 is the new, sorry, no, 600 is the price, right? Another input value that it will be stored into the book. Okay, some book is updated where it's where whatever is that ISBN number is 001, right? For the ISBN number 001, the book price is updated to 600. Likewise, you can pass the values to the store procedure. Okay, now you can understand, I think. If I have an insert command in this, and if I wanted to insert into table as a book, and I wanted to insert a values like a price. For the price field, what are the values I wanted to insert? Okay, I can give it as new price. Okay, new price. Okay, then you, while calling it, I can call if it is a one parameter. Say for example, I create a procedure with only new price as an input. So update the price, or I will say insert price. Okay, insert price 001, sorry, 600. Okay, likewise you can insert, you can call the procedure any times. No need to write a complete query, and it will keep executing it and update the table, sorry, insert the table values into the table. Likewise you can use stored procedures. And another example is for output is also there. So before going to this one, we will start the demo, then it will be easy. Okay, so how do we invoke the store procedure or call the store procedure? Using the call keyword and the name of the stored procedure you have to give. Okay, you can also delete a stored procedure using drop command. So how do we delete a database? Anyone? Drop database name, yes, right. Okay, now I will go to demo. So okay, Vikram, you want to tell that how, why do we use a delimiter in the stored procedure? Okay, what is the default delimiter? Okay, so yes, that's right. Yeah, that is right. As you said, I will launch MySQL. I'll go into my MySQL, hyphen U, hyphen P. 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is launched. That is correct, sir. Whatever you have told. So, so here I will create a stored procedure. Okay, you don't need to use a stored procedure at all. As Vikram told, like there is the default delimiter, right? Like use uh, I will say demo database. Okay, so show tables in that. It is many tables. We can use any of the tables. So say for example, I select star from employee table. Okay, if you don't give the semicolon, it will not understand. Like it is a I mean, it will start the server will not understand that it has to start the execution. Okay, it will expect a semicolon, right? If you keep it will expect a semicolon. Only when you give semicolon, it will start the execution. Okay, when you are writing a stored procedure here, say for example, I write a stored procedure like create procedure. This is the syntax. Create procedure, like I'll write like a stored name of the procedure. I give like a stored p. Okay, then I will start like this begin. You can write it in a single line itself, but it will not be easily understandable, so I'm writing like this. Select star from say employee table. Okay, enter, then end. Okay, I made a mistake here. 1 minute. I'll write it again. Create procedure stored p begin, and select star from employee. This is what the command we are going to write in your procedure, because this one we wanted it to execute it. Okay, enter. See, it is a giving enter error, because it is thinking that this statement is executed. Okay, because it reaches the end of the delimiter, so it is getting executed. So in order to avoid this, did you understand? Because it is not allowing me to go and write further things. When you are creating a stored procedure is these things, like in our ppt it is there. Like after begin you give your command and you will end it, right? But it is then only it will understand that your store procedure has started and ended, where it ended, what are the commands it has. But the sql server is not allowing me to go further. It thinks it thinks this complete itself is a single line of a statement, and it tries to execute create store procedures, everything. That is the reason what you have to specify it to the server. We are saying like semicolon is not the delimiter. Okay, don't end my execution in the semicolon. I will specify a different delimiter using the keyword delimiter. Okay, I say that $$ is the delimiter. Whenever you see $$ as a delimiter, then you will start the execution, right? Rather than giving semicolon, now you will give it with the $$. Okay, if I specify this as the delimiter, then say I do select star from employee table. Okay, if I give a semicolon, it will normally we give semicolon, right? That is the default one. It will expect something else. Okay, what it should have done, it should have executed this command and should have given the result, but it is not doing that, but it is giving the semicolon. Sorry, it is expecting something else. So since I set the delimiter as a $$, I'll put $$ here. Okay, now it will execute it. Did you get this? That is the reason. Say it is not, it is thinking the complete statement as a whole thing. What I will do, how do I write my query is like this. I will set a delimiter. I have already set a delimiter, that is say $$, and I will create a procedure. Create procedure. I will say stored p. Name of the procedure I am giving it as stored p, and then I will begin it here, and I will say select star from employee. Okay, then I end it. Then I'll say now my delimiter is dollar dollar. Okay, see, if you see here, when I put semicolon itself it was giving error, but it was here it is accepting the further lines also. That is the reason you have to set a delimiter. So enter it, and it is throwing error. Select star from employee. Okay, I have to, the mistake here is I have to give open and close braces. Okay, this I missed. Mm, See, the open and close braces after the stored procedure name I have missed. That's why it is giving error. So it is fine. Okay. So the stored procedure is created. Now, how do we call the stored procedure? How do we execute it? The statement inside the begin and end is select star from employee. So how do we make it execute? You will call that CALL, name of the stored procedure. Okay, stored P, then it will execute. See, it is asking me to set a delimiter because I have set the delimiter as dollar dollar. It will no longer, the server will no longer take the delimiter as semicolon. That's why I have to give dollar dollar. So now it is executing. Is this okay? So you can give any delimiter. If you know, in order to revoke back to the original delimiter, that is the semicolon, then you have to say my delimiter is, again you have to reset with the semicolon. Okay, then if you can select it directly like this, select star from employee. Now it will not expect for a new delimiter. Okay, directly it will work. Otherwise you can set the delimiter anytime in your execution, not only with the store processor. Anytime, say I set it as a hash or hash, then it will expect the delimiter to be hash. Okay, so select star from, now my delimiter I can give it as hash. Okay, then it will execute, not a semicolon. Okay, fine. Is this okay? Okay, one more. I have written only single command, so we can write more commands in that. Like I set the delimiter to hash, so I will create a stored procedure. One more, create a create procedure stored P, or different name we have to give. SP I will give, open and close braces. In that begin, in that select start from, some other tables are there like users. Okay, then I will truncate table, like employee table. I'll truncate it and end it. So it is expecting the delimiter. Now I have given hash as the delimiter. Then only it will come out of this query. The query is fine. Is this okay? The query is doing a stored procedure creation with the two statements inside it, which is nothing but select star from users, and it can also truncate. Truncate, what it will do? Amalan, Manikandan sir, Venkana Babu. Lilith infos inside but keeps the frame. Yes, that's right. It keeps the frame, matlab table definition it will keep. Okay, if you describe and see the table, if you select and see the table, select star from employee, data will not be there. The delimiter now is hash. It is not truncating the table. Describe employee. Okay, why it is not truncating now? You tell me. because I not called this SP at all, stored procedure at all, so it will not execute only, right? That's why it is showing all the data. Okay, hash is the delimiter, so I call the store procedure now. Okay, now it is displaying the select star users table information, and it is truncated the employee table also. So if I try to view the employee table, select star from employee table. Okay, delimiter now is hash. Uh, it is saying empty set. I should not give semicolon here, hash only it is. Okay, it is saying the value as empty set. Select star from employee hash. Nothing is there, but a structure will be there. Structure is employee s- hash. It is expecting somewhere I'm making mistake, so structure of the table is present. Okay, this is all about this. Then what else I will do? Okay, now we will see input output parameters. How do we get set it, and how do we get it? Okay. Okay, we can select some table. I will reset the delimiter now. So reset the delimiter to delimiter semicolon only. So I will see show tables. What are the tables present? Mm, we'll take something like star from student, or we will take users user profile or users. Some table we will choose it, and we will work on that. Okay, this also we can take users profile. I will take. Okay, so I will pass some input parameters into this, and try to set uh, get the values with that. So I will show. So now I will set a new delimiter, that is a delimiter like like this. Okay, that slash backslash I have given. So I will create a procedure. This is the delimiter I will set. I will create a procedure. Create procedure, new procedure, something I will create. In that I will give in input a variable, any variable name, any name you can give. So there is this table is containing this information, right? So I will say that first name. Okay, or any name. Okay, input name, I'm going to get the name, and it is of what type I'm going to give. Okay, then begin, select star from users profile. I think that table name is user profile. User profile, where the field name, okay, where the field name is a first name equal to the name which I am passing it. I will tell you what it is, what how it will work. Okay, I'll show you. And the delimiter is double slash. Okay, what I'm doing here is I'm going to pass an input value to the delimiter while calling, sorry, I'm going to pass the input value to the procedure while calling the procedure. Okay, and that value, the input value going to pass is nothing but the name. Okay, some of any one of the name from the first name I'm going to take, and I'm going to pass it. Okay, what it will do, this name will get substituted here. Okay, so select star from user profile, where first name equal to whatever the name I'm going to pass. Say for example, if I take for the name Jack I will pass while I'm passing this, calling this procedure. Then it will retrieve the data. This command, what it will do, it will retrieve select star from user profile, where first name equal to Jack. The results of Jack it will give. Okay, that's what this procedure will do. So how do I execute this procedure? I will call the procedure. While calling, I'll pass an input parameter, which is a nothing but jack. Okay, jack is a string, so we have to pass it like this. Okay, okay, enter. uh, because delimiter I've set it slash slash, right? It is expecting that, so enter it. So see, it has retrieved the data. What it has actually done, the name now is changed to Jack, and first name equal to Jack it has made, and it will retrieve that data and it is giving it to us. Okay, this is how you can pass input parameters to procedures. There is a question, okay, there will be, you can ask views also work like this only. Views, if you remember it, you can write queries. See, you should have asked me the question like, what is the difference between views and stored procedures? Views, you remember, like we write a complex query and we create it, we put that in a view. We create a view for the complex queries, and every time we call that view only. We will not call that complex query. Remember, we created views for joining two tables and all, and we will call select star from view. We don't call the complex queries. Here also we are doing the same thing. Okay, so you think over this and you tell me, if you can tell me what is the difference between views and store procedures. Okay, end of this session, or end of this, I will tell you why, what is the difference between views and the store procedure. Okay, is this clear? This is one example. I'll You can retrieve any data into that. Okay, you can pass multiple input values also into this. Okay, how you can pass multiple, I'm not sure whether it will work, I'll try. uh, in this stored procedures, this is the stored procedure is coming in a single line. Okay, here if I try to pass multiple parameters with a comma in, uh, like some other phone number, if you are trying to get, or id we will try to get. Okay, three is there, duplicate are there, so id for the users, auid. Okay, auid I will, or id I will, user id, any name you can give for the input parameter because we are going to pass it. Okay, like id as an integer I'm going to pass. So I've created a new procedure. Okay, or new procedure 1, or pro new procedure, in that I'm going to pass two input values to retrieve the data from the from the table. Okay, two input values, I will pass some name and his id. Okay, his id and name, and I will retrieve it. So procedure is created, it is created, but I have not given this one. And in the select query I'm going to give select star from username, where first name equal to name, and id or auid equal to the user id which I am going to pass. Okay, user id. Okay, is this statement clear? New pro already exists. I think existing stored procedure it is not allowing me to create, so I will create a new p1. Is the command or the procedure command is fine? Tell me. Okay, okay. So I will call it with call the store procedure new p1 with the values, first name and something else we can take, like a bill and id as 5. Okay, bill, and I have to give it in double quotes or single quotes, anything it will take for a character value, and the value as 5, id as 5, auid for bill was 5, When I know it, I will give that those two values. Then it is asking the delimiter, so it will retrieve and give the results. Okay, so multiple values also you can input into your stored procedure. Okay, so next we will see about the output. Okay, how do we retrieve the output in the stored procedure, that we will see. Output means the output value which it is giving. Okay, that I will show. Okay, so what I'll clear the screen. Delimiter is still slash slash. Okay, it will be there. Now I will create one more procedure. In that we will have the name of the procedure as output procedure. And how do we get the output? You are going to say it is going to the store procedure is going to give output. Okay, out. And the variable where you are going to get the output is the details variable. Anything you can give here, like, okay, details or uh, anything you can give. This is not the field name. Okay, this and the input of variable which we are passing, no, that is not the field name. Okay, that is your whatever the user defined variable name. And I'll say some 10 characters. Okay, so in this I will begin it. So every commands you have to put it in a begin statement. In the begin statement I'll write something like count star. uh, okay, into details from what is the table name, user profile. And this, and delimiter is colon colon. So what do you understand by this command is, this command is going to select the number of records. Okay, count star means it will aggregate all the records in your table name is user profile, and it will go and write it into the variable details. Okay, that is what it do. Okay, this we are not passing the input anything to here, but we are passing going to get the output details into details. So enter this, it is executed, the command is fine. Because this all I have executed. Okay, I have executed in last classes and this one. So every time for me it will give, it won't, may not give error, but for you when you're trying it may give error, so practice it. Okay, so now how I will see the output, the output is now present in a details variable. Okay, the count of the records, it is containing how many records, user profile table is containing 8 records, right? This count of the records now I have put it in a details variable. The variable I have declared it in the parameter. Okay, then how do I call it, how do I make it executable? Then call the output. Okay, with at details, I'm not sure this will work. Let's see. At the details, we have to pass the delimiter also, so it is executing. So how to view the result is select at the details. The value is stored in at details, right? So it is going to give the result here. See, what is happening is while I'm calling the procedure, I'm saying this is the variable. You can give anything as the variable. Okay, once this as a variable details, and into the details I'm passing it. This is same like a function where your variable calling, it will get substituted, right? Will not accept end only. Why slash? Okay, I will explain that why slash slash. Okay, I explained it before. Okay, first I will finish this. Okay, call output at details means we are passing a variable. We are saying that output variable, I want the output into this variable, and now our details will be equal to details, it will become. Okay, if I call it with some other variables, then variable it will be nice. Maybe details only will work, I think. Let's see. It is executed. Select results. Unknown is the results. Details. unknown details. Okay, whatever we are passing it to the procedure, that only we have to pass it as a parameter to the output. Otherwise, it is not understanding the where it has to store the data. Okay, and that's what I wanted to see. So the procedure which I have written is this output procedure. To this output procedure, I am passing the variable details into which it will write our output, which is mentioned here. Select count star into details. Okay, then afterwards, how do we display the values of the details? Okay, display, for display command we will use a select, right? At variable means uh, the values of the variable it will display it. Okay, at the details it is containing the count of the records. And Amalan, why slash slash ma'am will not accept end only? That's what Amalan I told you. See, if you write a stored procedure like this, okay, create procedure, sp stored procedure, I'm writing it. Okay, uh, I will first deal. I'll tell you without doing any delimiter change what is happening. Delimiter. Okay, I write a stored procedure. Okay, sp1. In that, I will start it and I will write this one. Select star from some table I done, no profile. See, this is the default delimiter for my SQL, right? See, once I come enter it, it is throwing error. Do you understand? It is thinking the complete statement as a one command, SQL command. See, that is the reason to differentiate it. It is not ending. It is not allowing me to complete the stored procedure only. It is not allowing me to write an end statement only. Okay, it thinks that it is okay, the statement is completed, and SQL server will start the execution for this statement, which is the statement itself is wrong, right? Because this when you are trying to write a select query and all, you don't write create procedure. It will not allow me to end it. Stored procedure will have its comments with begin and end. That is the syntax. Okay, that is the reason we are going to tell the server that don't take this as a delimiter, take something else as the delimiter. Okay, delimiter can be of any what is that? Any any characters. Okay, delimiter can be of any characters. That is the reason I give the delimiter as I set the delimiter as a slash slash. Okay, not semicolon. That is the reason every time it is expecting this. Okay, it is expecting that means, see, okay, I'll write again now. Create. Now I set the delimiter to slash slash. Okay, delimiter to slash slash. It means like I write a create procedure sp1 begin. Okay, then select star from that user profile. It will not throw error to me now if I put semicolon. Okay, because while you call the SP1, it will execute this code. It will understand that it is a stored procedure and it will execute and it will gives us the result no while calling. But if I enter now, see it will not give error because I have reset the default semicolon to slash slash. Okay, that is the reason after end. How do I say it? What it will do, this server will expect a delimiter, right, every time. Now my default delimiter is changed to slash slash. Otherwise it keep asking, uh, it is expecting something to end this statements, procedure statements. So I say okay, it is ended with a double slash. Okay, this you can set it anything. Okay, that is the reason we have to end it, and after that we are also giving, saying okay, my I have written my stored procedure, you don't expect any other line now, like that. Okay, output is fine, tell me please. Okay, then we will see one example in in out. Okay, in the PPT out I will describe how it is it. Out. Okay, in the out same like this one. Say there is a table, that a book table is present. Okay, book table is a present, and it's you're going to give the input. Okay, so this you can give it a different parameter also. Okay, that's what they are giving it here, but you have to set the value for this before giving it. Okay, what here they're going to do is they are you can also manipulate the values. Manipulate in the sense you can find the average values, or you can find whatever the execution we do, right? Like aggregation functions we perform. All this you can perform in a column, and you can also set that output to the output field. Okay, so create procedure output field. I am giving it as an higher price, highest price for the books we wanted to find it, and that highest price is nothing but price. If you have a book table, if you have a price column, you will have many prices. Say for example, one book you have, or the books, number of books, some books are having this many prices like wise. Okay, so if you wanted to find the highest price for the book, highest price in the book table, then what you can give like by maximum of the prices, that prices you can write it into the output parameter. Okay, so ideally what does it mean? Any application outside world, if they are want some output for the maximum of the, by calling the stored procedure, they will they will get the input as the output which this stored procedure is giving it. Okay, once you select that output, you can, it will list out what are the maximum temperature, sorry, maximum price for the books. Okay, is this fine, guys? Okay, this also I will show. Before that I will show one example in out. Okay, we will write again one more stored procedure for in out. In out means input and output. Input you are also passing, and you are getting the output also from the same stored procedure, that we will see. Okay, so create one more store procedure. The same thing I will do. Procedure. What do we have in our select star from user profile table? I have set the leave limiter as a slash slash, so I have to give slash slash. It is having all these things. No, something else will take slash slash. We'll take a department table. Select star from department. Delimiter is slash slash or department. Okay, here that salary column is there. I am taking this table to find the maximum salary. Okay, here in this table, department table, for that I will write a procedure, in and out procedure for that. Create procedure, combine. Okay, combined, name of the procedure I've given as combined, input output, and yeah, input output. I will give salary. I think the field name is a salary, capital S. Okay, salary can be of anything because it is a my variable. Salary I'll give it as a int, and out uh, yeah, in input variable is the Employee ID I can give, but I think no two values are same. Okay, I will give EMP employee ID. Input as a ID and it is an integer. I'll explain what I'm trying to do. Okay, so begin, select, same. I wanted to find the maximum salary, max of salary into salary from. mm, Okay, I will do the other way. Okay, I will just come out of this. This doesn't work. I will create a procedure, new procedure. So it is combined, it is going to have input and output. In out, for the in out parameter, I'll take one parameter as a salary. One variable I'm giving it as salary, which is an integer. The other one I will give it as a input parameter as a department. Okay, it is having the department field, right? This I will give. Then it will make sense. Department, and department is where care of some 10. Okay, department variable I can give my own variable depart. Okay, then I'll begin it. I'll write some manipulation query like select the maximum. Okay, um, salary is the field from the table. I will tell you. Okay, into write that into salary field. From table is department table, where department equal to depart. And this, okay, what I'm going to do in this query is input value salary, I'm going to pass it. I'm going to get the output, output value. I'm going to get it in the salary. Okay, in and out here, salary. Taking it as an output value. Okay, output value means the procedure is going to give me an output value that is maximum of the salary. Salary is the field name in the table. Okay, salary is the field name in the table. This salary is the variable name that I am giving it. Okay, I am going to store the maximum salary value into the salary uh, variable. Okay, this is the variable, so this is the output parameter, and I'm going to pass the input parameter as a depart. Okay, depart is this department I am is there, no. This is this department. I'm going to pass the department name like IT department, maximum salary in IT department or HR department. So the problem statement you can think of likewise is, say, find the maximum salary in each of the departments. Write a stored procedure for that. Okay, for that I'm going to take the input as the department, oh sorry, here as the department, which I am passing. While calling the procedure, I will call pass the input as department, and the output it will give the maximum salary for the department. Okay, maximum salary into that, it will write into salary that I will display it. That is how it is going to do. So the procedure I have to close it. I have written this slash slash is my delimiter, so I close it. So it is executed fine. Okay, now I have to call the procedure. So while calling it, then only it gets executed, right? So combine is my procedure name, and it is going to give me an output, which is going to be the salary output. Okay, that output is the that variable name I'm going to give. And input, I have to pass the input. Okay, say for example, I am going to find the maximum salary for HR department. Okay, HR is there, so we'll take HR department. HR. Okay, combine this. So semicolon is not my delimiter now, slash slash is my delimiter. So enter this, it is executed. How do I see what the maximum salary? Select the variable, that is salary variable, then it will give the result. Okay, slash slash null. Why it is giving null? I think some error is there. Max sal. It is not working. It is giving null as the output, but it should give me the salaries, maximum salary, HR. Do you see any error in this one procedure? Maximum, select maximum salary into salary, where from department is the table name, where department equal to procedure already combine already exists. I call this procedure combine with the variable name as a salary, and I will pass IT. It is expecting delimiter. I select it at salary. It is giving null as the output. It has to give the maximum. This is the query. Okay, this is the query I have written in as procedure. But unknown column salary, it is saying it is having a column, right? Maximum of salary. SALA department is the table name. That is why it is giving error. Okay, this both thing I have given wrong. Table name is a small department, and field name is capital department. Department spelling is wrong. See, it is giving the output. The same thing I'm writing it in a procedure, but it is not giving the output. In the input output, I think I'm doing something wrong. Depart. Okay, I will check this because it is not giving me the output. In out. This is what I'm doing it here. Okay, input I'm giving some gender name they are giving, and output as this. Okay, this I will check it. Otherwise, if you know it, you can tell me because it is not executing. It will execute. Create procedure combine in out salary and in the department is the input value. Begin select maximum salary into salary from department table where department equal to depart. Where I'm doing mistake, I don't know. And I'm passing the some variable or cell. Sal will be salary and select select at sal. You have error in the sal syntax sal that one. So sorry. Select at I have to give. No, it is giving null for me. Anyone is trying in your machine, then you please try and let me know. Otherwise, I will show it in the next class. Something I'm making it a mistake. Okay. So this is about in out and in out. That is about set procedure. Maybe I will try one more thing, but this itself is not working. The thing is, you can do some manipulations also. Okay. We will try that one. Another one. Create procedure. Procedure. Say I set some value like a setter name of the procedure in out. So some counter value we can set do any manipulation using the in and out. You can do some calculation also. Okay. So and input I'm going to give it as increment. Okay, increment and which is of type two variables. One is output variable, the another variable I'm directly specifying it as an input variable. Okay, like this. Then enter it. Begin. See, if one is taken as an input variable, the other it will automate the way how we are writing it the commands inside, it will automatically take as an output variable. Any one of it you can specify it here. Okay, so in the begin I what I'm going to do, set counter. Okay, counter equal to, I will do counter plus 1 plus increment plus 1 not plus increment. So for increment I'm saying it is a input variable. Okay, so end this and come out of it. Okay, what this stored procedure is going to do, it is going to count the input value. Okay, okay, and store whatever the value it is going to get it, increment value counter we can set it also. Okay, this is a variable. If I set counter as 10, then it will keep incrementing with the value passing. Okay, I will show it with the after executing. What I will do, I will set a counter value. Okay, set at counter as 10 equal to 10. So I'm going to set the variable for the counter as 10. Okay, if you have to delimit it, if you select it at counter, it will show the value. Okay, value as 10. Now the counter value as 10. This value I will pass it to the procedure. Okay, so I will call the procedure setter. The procedure name is setter and my counter I'm calling it. Okay, uh, counter I am going to get the output to the counter because we are setting counter here. We are going to increment the counter, comma, increment it by 1. I'm saying incremented by 1. So at counter is going to be your output, that variable, and 1 is going to be your increment variable value. Okay, then if I run this, I have to delimit this. Okay, then call, not call, select the at counter, it will give the result. So now that counter value is incremented to 11. Okay, that from the table it is not retrieving, but this way it is working. Is this fine? See, what do I try to say is in your procedure also you can keep working or do some manipulation on your data. It is not necessarily that you can retrieve the data from a database and table from a table, not a database, from a table, and you can do some calculation on that. Okay, manipulation on that or incrementing or get the sum and average, all those things. That calculation you can do it in your procedure itself. Okay, that is also possible, which is not possible in the case of views. Okay, these things you cannot do in views. Okay. That is the reason we can go for a procedure. There are some other differences are there. uh, Tomorrow I will execute this command which is not working, no, that I will execute and show that time I will tell the difference also. Okay, so in this command what I'm doing, I'm taking the output, this is going to be my output. Okay, and it is going to count with the increment value. Increment is going to be my input. For the counter I have set the counter value as a 10. Okay, likewise you can set a variable value. And uh, and then I'm calling the setter method procedure, where I'm saying that get me the output in the counter and one in as an input value. Then it is giving the value as this. Okay, tell me, is this clear till now? Amalan, Venkana Babu. I'll give some exercise in this. Please do it, then it will be more clear. In out, I will show with a table tomorrow. It should work. I don't know what is the problem. Okay, please do the exercises. Okay, store procedures as they will have some time. Okay. Any doubts you can ask me, otherwise we can leave. That's all in stored procedure. Yes, Venkana Babu, what is the doubt?
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Can I share the screen now?
It's a yeah, share it.